In this video, I will explain the satanic offerings and consecrations performed on both illegal and pharmaceutical drugs, starting with the topic of street drugs. The first type of consecration commonly practiced by drug cartels on their illegal products is the lethal dose. This consists of preparing a lethal dose after producing a certain number of regular doses. The most popular number in this practice is the 666 dose. This means that if, for example, 1,000 doses are prepared, the 666 will be the one consecrated to kill. In ritual terms, this represents offering the life of one of the users to a satanic deity in exchange for prosperous sales and protection for the group or cartel that produces the drug. Another common consecration is the so-called percentage consecration. This consists of manufacturing a small percentage of the drug within a specific production batch with a formula that is fatal to those who will consume it. A third form of consecration, practiced by some illegal drug cartels as well as certain pharmaceutical companies, is consecration by binding. As its name suggests, this form of consecration binds evil spirits to a specific drug. This curse can be applied to a percentage of the production or to the entire production run. However, the first one is generally preferred since consecrating the entire production would have adverse physical and spiritual effects on the vast majority of consumers. This would raise suspicions that there is a problem with the product that goes beyond the inherent side effects specified on the label. This would increase the risk that consumers in general will avoid the product or that lawsuits will arise in the case of pharmaceutical drugs. On the other hand, if only a small percentage of the production is consecrated, it is easier to argue that those affected experience these side effects because they are particularly sensitive. Or perhaps the aforementioned individuals already had pre-existing medical or psychological problems that cause these disorders. The primary task of the malevolent entities attached to the users in this type of consecration will be to magnify the addiction to the substance. In addition to a series of physical, mental, or emotional disorders that the demonic entities will foster or exacerbate among the users, these disorders will go beyond the collateral damage inherent to the consumption of that particular drug. Pharmaceutical companies are generally perceived by the public as well-intentioned businesses that seek to find and offer cures to treat people's illnesses and ailments. However, in some cases, this is far from the truth. Some of the largest shareholders of major pharmaceutical companies are neither scientists nor people with good intentions, but individuals with very shady reputations linked to occult brotherhoods, lodges, or satanic sects. And these individuals are generally collaborators or members of the ruling economic elites, whose ideology includes the goal of exterminating the majority of humanity, leaving only a small remnant to serve their desires and needs. Therefore, it should come as no surprise that certain medical drugs are sometimes used as biological or spiritual weapons to affect or weaken the masses. Whether pills, solutions, or injections, it is wise to be wary of current mandatory medical campaigns. During the recent pandemic, many people who were not infected with the virus died within days of receiving one of the vaccines. Others suffered severe side effects that nearly brought them to the brink of death. And another group of vaccinated individuals developed a range of psychological disorders after receiving the injection. And of course, we have many vaccinated individuals who didn't experience any significant adverse symptoms. On a personal note, I prefer using natural medicine to protect myself from various illnesses, which are sometimes created by these very same malicious pharmaceutical companies. These companies commonly work in collusion with various international organizations, as well as with corrupt government departments in many countries. However, it's crucial to emphasize that not all pharmaceutical companies practice these dark rituals on their products. To claim otherwise would be ridiculous and highly improbable. The same applies to producers of illegal street drugs. Although, in this case, I believe that it would be difficult to find a major drug cartel, especially in Latin American countries, that doesn't pack their drugs to the devil or to demons disguised as saints. Finally, I'd like to point out that diabolical pacts of consecration, though in different forms, are not limited to the pharmaceutical and illegal drug industries. They also occur in many other industries, such as food and beverage, healthcare, tobacco, toys, entertainment, and construction, among many others. That's all for now. Your friend Mardo signing off, and I hope to see you in the next video.